So our word for today is bullying. Now bullying has been around for ages, and I should know, because I've experienced it firsthand. And let me tell you, it's one of the worst things that a human being could ever experience. So today I'm gonna show you one of the worst and one of the most iconic bullying moments in live TV. So let's check this out. So this happened on a TV show called The X Factor, and the contestant, Mr. Joe Irvin, just finished his banger performance. Then this is the first thing that he hears.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna state the obvious. We have a doppelganger in our midst. I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband. Do you not have any value or respect for originality? Embarrassed to be sitting here in your presence having—
And now the main villain introduces herself. So the asshole judge that's scorning the poor contestant ruthlessly is Dora's mentally disturbed methed out cousin named Natalia Kills. And she is not happy. Not with Mr. Joe's performance, but on what he's wearing. Which is strange because you're here to judge the performance, not the looks, right?
No, thank you, Natalia. You're beautiful. To me, it just feels a little bit cheap and absurd. I mean, it's like...
Now the main villain's sidekick enters the fight. So this 7-Up mascot looking dude that looks like a gay Johnny Bravo without the glasses on her left, is her pimp. I mean her husband, Willie Moon.
Norman Bates dressing up in his mother's clothing. It's just a little bit creepy, and I feel like you're going to stitch someone's skin to your face and then kill everybody in the audience. But, okay, do you?
Ah yes, comparing him to a fictional serial killer is always a good way to end an evil remark.
Just say it. It's disgusting. You make me sick. It's absolutely disgusting. You have no identity. I can't stand it. I'm ashamed to be here.
So that's still by far the worst bullying incident that I've ever seen. Duh, shit. I'm a doppelganger now. Damn. I thought I was about to summon Natalia and Willie Moon's obnoxious evil spirit here for a second. I'm sorry guys, okay? I'm not Norman Bates, I swear. Forgive me, please. So it was very jarring when I first saw this because like I said, I was bullied back then. And just seeing Mr. Joe's face facing that female dog barking is just heartbreaking to say the least. And it's bad enough to be bullied in front of an entire classroom. Imagine being humiliated on TV in front of a large studio audience. That is just so unimaginably rough. So this is another angle of the bullying that captures the audience side of the catastrophe. It feels good to know that the audience is really behind Mr. Joe on that one. It's really evil stuff. So after that incident, they received a lot of backlash and they were booted off the show just a day after that episode was aired. And Mr. Joe received tons of support.
Lord, this is... Hi Joe, I'm a performer too, and I wanted to say that no matter how many people make fun of me and how I dress, move, act, I'm being me, and that's what's important. Good luck and lots of love, Lord. Keep being Joe on the cupcakes. You enjoy yourself with it. That's what singing is about, not what other people think. This is insane! Trying to say thank you to everyone, it's like, whoa, I can't do it.
So a lot of people are comparing her to Simon Cowell because Simon Cowell can also be very rude to contestants from time to time, such as this.
I'll give you a tip for future auditions. Don't. I don't mean to be unkind, but you have one of the worst singing voices possibly in Miami. I don't want to be rude, but you could be the worst singer in New York. Don't take this personally, but...
Oh, please.
No, I mean it. You're one of the worst singers I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
So why isn't he booted off the show too? So the differences with Simon is number 1, he is the owner of the show, and number 2, he showcased his poop and insult bending in the time where cancel culture isn't really prevalent as much in the world. And the major difference in my opinion is Simon, time and time again, has showcased his keen eye for talent. Like he's just very good at spotting who is great and who is not. Like he's the reason why we have some of the best bands in the industry like One Direction, Little Mix, and Fifth Harmony. And you gotta admit, the way Willy Wanker here delivered her insults is much more jarring than how Simon critiques. And mind you, I'm not saying that what Simon is doing is right. It's still bad in a way, but at the very least, Simon criticizes the performance first, then spew goat shit after. While Natalia here bombards Mr. Joe with ad hominem attacks without even critiquing his performance because she finds it insulting to even give him a critique because she somehow claims that her husband is the patent owner of the suit with slick back hairstyle. So that begs the question, was it staged? So the answer to that is both yes and no. But the ratio is 70% no and 30% yes. And the thing that actually convinced me that it's mostly Natalia the Explorer's fault is Miss Zoey Alexander. So Miss Zoey is the contestant that exposed the X Factor on how they actually operate. And in my opinion, her story for me is mostly accurate because I have experienced being on a TV show audience. And let me tell you, there is a conductor there that tells the audience when to clap and how much energy should the audience give. And that alone can give you an idea on how fake the shows can actually get. So if some of you don't know Miss Zoey's full story, I'll link her video down in the description. And I highly suggest that you watch her video first, then watch this video after, so we can have a straight narrative all throughout. I'll play clips of her video, but it goes somewhere like this.
And he said, make sure you use all of the stage, give the best performance you can give, and if the judges say no, beg them. Do whatever you can to get them to say yes. Cry. Get down on your knees and beg. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here?
The X Factor producers were willfully directing me to break down on stage, showing their ultimate intentions for the conclusion of my audition.
So she was manipulated and primed to sing and act like Pink. So she was basically told how to act. And she was also telling that the judges were hostile and they were nothing like the show was portraying.
As I walked onto the stage, I was greeted by 4 horrible faces. They were so hostile. It was unbelievable. I probably watched the X Factor on TV and they seem so nice. They seem like it doesn't matter who you are. They're welcoming and they're friendly. And that was not what I was greeted by. I was greeted by 4 executioners.
But the main point of the video is the show is staged. The contestants are pre-picked, and the major one is the contestant isn't in on the joke. Like they weren't in on it, if you would know what I mean. Because if she was in on it, she wouldn't have made her story broken down and humiliated herself. So following her narrative, it's highly possible that Miss Natalia is paid to judge a certain way, which is confirmed on her tweet. Like she was paid to be passionate and outspoken. So maybe they told her to judge harshly and be mean if possible, like how Simon Cowell or Gordon Ramsay is portrayed. But I refuse to believe that they have a script that they specifically follow or blatantly read in front of the live audience. Because if you see some of her judging clips, she's not always angry and annoyed. But she does critique harshly, for example.
It sounds like you're just kind of howling at the moon a little bit. It's like, what is that?
It's a no from me.
It's a no from me.
So why? So I don't know, maybe she's experiencing premenopausal symptoms that day, so her hormones are out of whack. Because you can really feel that she is annoyed with Mr. Joe slicking his hair back and putting on a suit. Ah shit. You know, it's a good thing that Mr. Joe took that garbage like a champ, because if he somehow loses control and broke down on stage, I can guarantee you he will be a laughingstock, exactly what happened to Miss Zoey. So sorry to ruin your day, but this is some steaming trash takes that I saw from the fans of this abominable twosome, and there's even a fake Twitter account made with the face of Mr. Joe, glazing Natalia Kills' feet, simping to the max. But what about the picture, I hear you ask? So I don't know about this, it feels like it's fake. But if it's somehow real, we don't actually know when that picture was taken, so it doesn't prove jack shit. And if that was actually taken after, it could be easily chalked up to he was just trying to get along. Like example, if you don't like your boss, you still have to pretend you still like them so they don't put you in the hot seat or like fire you or something. Because she has a powerful position, she is a judge. So getting along with her is very, very essential. So this is the response she made following the backlash. For a brief moment in 2015, I felt like it was the death of me. I was subject to a global witch hunt I couldn't defend myself against due to a wide-reaching legal gagging order. It was truly a regrettable situation for everyone involved. I'd have to ask my attorney, but their contracts are airtight, so I don't think I'll be able to tell the truth about what happened. Too many people would get in trouble or lose their jobs. They messed up. I mean, the whole thing was a mess. What's weird is after the show we all hugged and it was all high fives. So there's a couple of problems here. First one, in her response she is basically saying that all of this are fake and they can't tell their side and can't defend themselves because of the gagging order. But what are you talking about? You basically said your defense. What gagging order? You need to tell your pimp to stop trying to gag you with his micro P. I mean, what else could she possibly say to defend herself? She already said it was fake, right? A hoax? So what if the gagging order is lifted? So is she gonna break down the scenarios? Like, oh, on the day of the incident, when Mr. Joe Irvin sang his song, he summoned Shenron from the heavens. And then Shenron rubbed Willie Moon's bitch-ass hair, then Will Smith the genie came out of his asshole. Then the producers wished at the genie that Willie Moon will have the license and patent of the suit and slick back hairstyle. So when the wish was granted, I could technically copyright strike Mr. Joe Irvin's OOTD. That's why I was mean that day. It wasn't my fault. I swear I'm innocent. So second thing. So she said it's all sunshine and rainbows and hugs and high fives in the end of the day. So they are strongly implying that she and Mr. Joe are friends. And if that were the case, there's no doubt that Mr. Joe will defend her relentlessly. Like, oh, stop trying to cancel her, guys. Stop, don't be mean to her. She already apologized. We're all good now. I love her. And that's not the case, right? No one defended her. I mean, not even the studio defended her. And Simon, who responded with this. Because if the show really is the puppet master, or should I say Simon, the creator of that show, is behind that horrendous display of shit, it's very, very easy to defend her. Like, they could easily chuck that up to, oh, she's just passionate and just took great offense because she is used to seeing her her husband like that. Husband, not pimp, husband. Because maybe she felt like she needed to defend his style, and combine that with the bullied victim Mr. Joe Irvin's support, her career will be now saved. Because I've seen that formula working time and time again, especially here in the Philippines. If someone powerful backing you up and bribing, no matter what the people thinks, your bribe money and your backers will find a way to harass your ass to safety. But in this case, there's not. She dug her own grave with the help of her husband, and no one wants any part of what she and her husband did. So after this, a fire struck their humble home, and they apparently lost everything. What a tragic thing to have happened. And they both made it out safe, and their dog is safe. Thank God they made it all safe. But imagine messing up so bad that even though this absolute disaster happened to you, you're still haunted by your past. And there's a take I want to show you.
All referencing the staged X Factor incident from 7 years ago. Never mind that both of them could have died. Never mind that there were other people in the apartment complex. And never mind that there were 2 injured firefighters. People felt entitled to let these two know that one small incident from 7 years ago deserves a lifetime curse. This is deserved retribution over a staged reality TV incident.
Yeah, I get it. It's horrible for this thing to have happened. And I'm glad that they're doing well now. But calling the bullying incident a small and scripted accident is just very horrendous. Bullying is never okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share this to you because I saw a lot of takes saying that, oh, it's scripted, poor Natalia. And Miss Zoey Alexander did say that it's largely the producer's fault, which I agree to a certain extent. Well, maybe Coach Greg Doucette is wrong. Maybe there is such thing as bad publicity because they got wrecked after this. But I do strongly believe that the only thing that Miss Natalia the Explorer was paid to do is judge harshly, not attack Mr. Joe Irvin's character and well-being. And even after he delivered a stellar performance there. And in the end, she and her husband crossed that line, not the producers. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this incident because this is a core memory of mine because of my bullied past. So if you managed to reach this part of the video, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciated it. So that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Bye.